we should realize that there is a future that we should be afraid of unless we really take charge of our destiny and start building a future that we hope to live in. So I think our relationship to technology has always been complex. We don't first understand what we've created, and once we understand it, it's often already had a major impact on our behavior, on our society. And I think the more and more we start dealing with technologies which are hugely powerful, as we've seen the impact of global scale technologies like social media in terms of politics, or how mobile phones have changed our behavior, both for the better and for the worse. I think now with AI, we have to take a proactive stance and to really start understanding the ramifications of what it means if we outsource human decision making to algorithms, for example. Or rather, how do we create a society where we reap the benefits of AI, but at the same time make it the best possible place for humans to live in? I think what we'll end up with is a more inclusive political system. So if AI is able to facilitate the participation in democracy of people in other forms than just by voting, I think we will see very interesting evolutions of civic society. I think in terms of AIs, for example, facilitating debates between thousands or tens of thousands of people, and then being able to extract the meanings and the values exchanged in those, and to help us bridge the gaps between. In what I think we see right now is that politics becomes more and more polarized, and we're unable to have these meaningful conversations with people who don't agree with us, and we end up in entrenched positions which might not even be extremely rational when it comes to just opposing something that we think as a political view is wrong. So I think AI can actually help us have more meaningful debate and find common ground, or find solutions that we are not able to think in our own categories. If we ignore the questions of good and evil, then we might end up doing very evil things by happenstance. I mean, that's the banality of evil. Whereas if we realize that many of the things that we now frame as either technological problems or business problems are actually ethical problems, we start looking for different solutions, and we start understanding that we not only do good or that we not only do technology or business, but that we do things which are good or evil. I think somehow we've created this thinking where a platform like Airbnb or even a platform like Amazon is somehow completely neutral when it comes to the impact it has on societies. And of course it's not. Nothing is just a platform, but rather they don't exist in vacuum. So for example, with Airbnb, the way that the impact that they have on rents in cities, on the livability of city centers, suddenly you start realizing that the platform itself is part of a wider platform, if you will. In some ways, it's great that we're able to travel halfway around the world and stay at somebody else's home and actually trust people and create these new connections. And then at the same time, the unintended consequence from them was that, again, in city centers in Barcelona or Amsterdam are turning uninhabitable for the locals. I think in the past 2-3 years, we've realized that we really don't understand the forces that we're unleashing on the world. I mean, for me, the whole US elections and Brexit and the eroding of democracy via weaponized social media. So really how be it Russia or be it our own political parties are able to use a system which was originally generated to link up with your college buddies. I mean, nobody intended Facebook to be used that way, and I think that's a very good example of us unintentionally creating these systems which are both powerful forces for good, but also which can be used for evil.